Welcome, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough of Hearts of Iron 3 Black Ice. Okay, and of course we're playing as Germany. Now, wanted to show off this. I was noticing we're bombing these guys some more. Almost got the Paris sunk. They're going back out. Oh, got the light cruiser there. Got the heavy cruiser. Oh, it's like they made it out and away, but we got a few of them. Finally one there, you attack there. Oh, yeah, another thing I noticed, what just happened before the Brazil invaded Africa. Look at that. There's their cruiser there. Now, we're going to have to respond to that because they're cutting off my supplies. That is not good. But he's busy going after Session here. Oh, here we go. Bombing the liners. Oh, good. The whole idea of all this air power coming out here make it more and more dangerous to move around. We're going to move these guys over. They're going to come down to South Africa and pick up a few of these units, hopefully, quickly, to take back the territory that we just lost. Let's move the Africa Corps. Attack down here too. You're coming up to here. We can maybe pick you up at some point. And we can eventually add those to our West Africa campaign. Oh, we can upgrade the 15th Panzer Grenadier Division. Okay. Okay, the 15th Panzer Grenadier Division was formed out of the Sicilian Division. The division saw action mostly in Italy, May 44, when it fought a retreating battle through the Aruncian Mountains against the 3rd Algerian Infantry and the 4th Moroccan Mountain Divisions of the French Expeditionary Corps, commanded by General Alphonse Juin. The rest of the war, the 15th Panzer Division fights on the Western Front and surrenders to the British at the end. Okay, so we just put this out. I just put this out in between. So, Panzer Grenadiers, Armor Battalion, Motorized Infantry Battalion, Artillery Armored Pioneer. Okay, well. Okay, I guess. Sort of happened awfully quick. For the time in between the two of them, this is mostly done. Probably would put the first one just out on the map, because I literally just put that out in between the episodes. And the decision saw that the division existed and was not in combat and gave me that option immediately. So having the intermediate stage is sort of unnecessary. I don't know if it happened so fast. One thing if it like went on the battlefield right away and then 3 months, 6 months later, then that happens, then you have the choice of, hey, is it, you know, you want to upgrade it or not. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. Now come up here. It's a flying bomb, secret one and done. Strategic rocket, I think we'll let that go. Let's move these down. We lost very high leadership is one of the reasons we have some of the red there, but this is much closer. Let's get that finished. Might as well. Okay, our Marines are there. Command and control. We're just going to cancel that because so much in the red, but very good. Okay, didn't we just form this, or what did we just form? Okay, that's that. Oh, here, this is what we just formed. Oh, the 7th. Okay. The Schwer Panzer Abteilung 509 was. Well, let me also. So, you know, it still has its. We don't want it. Divisional General. Still has that. Okay, guess not. The 509 was formed September 43 around cadre of the 22nd Panzer Division. It fought on the Eastern Front, seeing action at Kironovo-Grad, Kiev, and Pavlova. It was attached to the SS Panzer Division Das Reich in November 43 and be refitted. Okay, form it. Yep. That's that one, and this one is now here. Running out of guild armored leaders, so let's see what we can. Well, let's go back up to skill level 3, but Erbach lost his division. Do we want to put him in charge of this? No, I think a better division. Here we go. Send him down just south of Paris there. Now that we have enough anti-air in Orient, what am I doing? Let's drop the flotilla here. No, not donuts. Wait for them to get organized, but they won't be bombed now with all that anti-air. Okay. Airborne warfare research. Cancel that for the moment. Okay. Norwegian. Mein Führer, how would you like us to prepare the section of the Atlantic Wall? This section plan fortification will provide coverage in the far north Norway. Okay, well, let's go up and look at the far north of Norway here. Don't we already have? Narvik region. Okay. Don't have any up there. We do have that there now. I thought we already did have. Okay, well, let's go with light defenses. Because I don't think there's going to be a scripted invasion there. But, okay, well, move that a little bit. Port that attack. They're coming through there. Let's attack you from here. Not that he's been doing much good, but just might disrupt them a little bit. That's right, we're here when we were getting ready and they got distracted. Oh, you don't have supplies. Okay, invasion. Good. Blitzkrieg doctrine has advanced. That's great. We're gonna stop that for the moment. Just thinking about all of this. Sorry, just things aren't moving ahead very fast right now. Well, let's increase light cruiser speed. We'll increase light cruiser armor so that keep up a good speed. Oh, almost. Finland. Yes, you may have some metal. Oh, good. Ah, capturing a British heavy cruiser. Autumn mud. I'm producing, yeah, a bit more than we need. A bit more than a bit more. Just watching up here. Oh, okay, and must have a bunch of stuff come in. Okay, yeah, more destroyers. We're pretty good, and a lot more naval attack craft. Great. Yeah. How are we doing on research for carriers? Still got a ways to go, and we're just at 35, so I don't really want to get a few more of these improved. There. Yeah, I'm just sort of looking at well, we've got lots and lots of fighters coming because they use very little manpower, and I want to win that battle over Britain and then later over America, so we could use a few more medium flyer fighters. Let's just go for 4. And let's go for 4 more flying boats. I just got lots and lots of oceans that I want to control from the air. Okay, now we are in range, so all these units that are here are in range. Okay, we've got to there. Now let's look for across the river there. These guys up into the mountains a bit here. Attach you to a closer HQ. Seventh Panzer Division, Rommel's old division from France. Upgraded considerably, but still advancing across India. Oops, defend there. Oh, you're here now, finally. Okay, you attack there. Yes, you may have metal, Switzerland. And you might as well support. Attacking. 3 angles. Okay, the 3rd Fallschirmjäger Division. Nice. Vent image. Was formed in Reims, France in October 43. It fought the Allied landings in Normandy as part of 2nd Fallschirmjäger Corps, suffered heavily losses. It was nearly destroyed in the Falaise pocket. The remaining elements retreated to Aachen, and it was rebuilt in Belgium in September to October, though parts of it saw action in Arnhem as Kampfgruppe Becker. It took part in the offensive in the Ardennes, and fighting in Western Germany, where it again suffered heavy losses. It was rebuilt at Niederbreizig and finally surrendered in the Ruhr pocket. Okay. So to me that looks like North Africa, but what do I know as a geography thing? Yes, we'll take that. Is it in here now, or UTR? I guess maybe more puts them up on the board. Okay, it's here in Germany. Ooh, cool image. Okay, I guess it got it. That is definitely a Luftwaffe officer. Well, get it paratroopable, we'd have to get rid of the anti-tank unit. But we'll, I guess, well. We're gonna move it to here. Because this is where we have only one transport right now, but we can fly in some more and take them out. We have 2nd Division here, which also needs to lose its anti-tank element. Okay, this is one of my events from Third Reich. Events. Redundant there, but yeah. I thought this was very interesting. This is the cover of sort of the booklet, or whatever you'd want to call it, or book or something that was made up, I think more of a booklet, of this Youth Sports Day for Bohemia and Moravia. We need to further bring into line. That's the Germans saying it was sorry. People. Yeah, it's the sort of the Nazification, if you will. The people of Bohemia and Moravia using sports has worked with the German youth, and we can use the same method with the youth of Bohemia and Moravia. As with all National Socialist events, we have a nice parade in Wenceslas Square in the center of Prague. Nice flags. Okay, I thought this was interesting because this is Prague. It was 9th September 43. So, you know, battling in Italy is not going so well. Battling in the Eastern Front's not going so well, you know, things like this. And here you are, you have a mix of flags, including swastika flags, but these are all the participants carrying the fascist collaborationist party symbols. Having a parade through the town. At least some of them are giving the Nazi salute. Looks like many more are on the streets. You know, just the streets are packed. The sidewalks, I should say, or whatever, are packed. I thought that was interesting. There's a lot of people in the parade that are going to do the sports. There's a lot of people watching them. And then here we go. Dr. Franksky Turner, leader of the youth group of Vladkia, of the flag, is the master of ceremonies. He's this guy here from one of the National Socialist parties. Actually, two that were Czech, but I think the primary one is the master of ceremonies, as pictured with Prime Minister Krzyzak SS Obersturmbannführer Pritcher and Minister Morovic in attendance. Okay, so this is the Prime Minister Krzyk, SS Sturmbannführer, and this is Morovic right here, one of the main collaborationists. Sort of, I think he outranks the Prime Minister or something, but he's sort of like Minister for Moravia or whatever. There, so you got basically the head of the collaborationist government here. More photos of the youth running around. A lot of stuff. You see the ceremonies again, sort of the Nazi tradition of bunches of people out showing mass support and as often in traditional clothing. They may later. So you need to do an all right if you want to, or if you want to continue to see more. We're going to see more here. Okay, here's the sports stadium to give you the size. It appears to be full. The audience is full. They're obviously not mass filling the center, but like you might see in some of the national, the Nuremberg rallies, but lots of youth people out there doing their, again, togetherness, if you will. Being part of a greater whole is very much part of the tradition, not just in National Socialism, but also sort of communism, some of these other sort of mass ideological movements, doing the exact same thing in time with others gives the human element a sense of belonging, I guess. And it is not just National Socialism or communism that does this, but they use this, that they're all dressed the same. Now if they're all in traditional costumes, the costumes may vary a bit, but they're all in traditional costumes. Or they're all wearing the same sports outfits, or, everybody's wearing the exact same shorts, and they're throwing up the logs or whatever and catching it and doing this sort of thing. A lot of people in a big group all at once to give you this feeling of belonging, and, sort of like a rock concert. You're all there listening to the music together and whatever, but it's more rhythmic, more organized, and it does sort of, if you will, speak to the human spirit in a way, and these movements use this. Like many other National Socialist events, there are mass coordination exercises that make participants feel, and I wrote this basically, feel good, participants feel good as part of the group. How many well, that should be how many people. Typo there. No one's brought that typo up to me, I don't think. I got lost. Okay, so here's the guys out running around doing this sports competition. You can sort of see from the shirts that these guys are wearing, there's different symbols on them, which different clubs and maybe from different regions going on, competing. How many competitive events held. And we also have the girls out doing it too. Various sporting elements, and again you can see whatever that H is used. If that's the sort of the youth group symbol with the sort of eagle with the Nazis swastikas that we've seen in that as well. So we got that going. And these are the different photos. The winners are given prizes, and it shows many are coming into line with the new order. Now, I don't know how many were coming into line with the new order. Obviously, some of the youth groups' symbols on there, like I said, had this sort of Czech Nazi collaborationist party eagle symbol. The swastika on other sports shirts groups appear to have different symbols on them, and I don't know if they were specifically National Socialist organization. If you were in Germany and you had any organization, it was a National Socialist organization. Again, as I brought up, I've got a bunch of stuff from National Socialist gardening associations. I mean, and also chefs and cooks associate National Socialist organizations. Everything was National Socialized in Germany. You couldn't have an organization that wasn't National Socialist in Germany. I don't know if that is a case for all these different youth sports groups, because they're different patches in Czechoslovakia or Bohemia, Moravia. And this is very much for the Czechs. These aren't nobody showing up here, at least that I can see, in Hitler Youth uniforms, and nobody is wandering around in SA uniforms. And I know there was a moderate German populace in Prague before the war. Not a majority, but a minority, but a decent size element. And I do know that there was some Germans living in Warsaw, but the SA, the Hitler Youth, with the Germans occupying Warsaw, all of the Germans in Warsaw would be joining local German chapters of like the Hitler Youth, if you're a German youth, or if you're a young man. I know of at least one documented case of just because I saw online someone was selling his sort of document history that they had of, that first in one part of Germany, then he was sent to work or manage or whatever, be a manager in or something of an armaments factory in Warsaw, and so he transfers his SA unit membership, or whatever you want to call it, to the other unit in Warsaw, so that they had set up an SA unit there. So I'm presuming they're also, again, I don't specifically know, but I'm presuming they would also be doing very similar things in Prague, because they were trying to Germanize Bohemia and Moravia. Some mixed thoughts on how racially, I should say, German or Aryan or whatever the people may or may not be, but they were definitely trying to Germanify them in language and culture and other things. They knew it was going to take time, but that was on the path for Bohemia and Moravia. But it's just interesting that none of the Hitler Youth or others appear to be at this event. So this looks to be an entirely Czech event. I have my suspicions that a lot of those people in the crowd are not forced to be there, but aren't Czech Nazis either. I think it was a fun day out. It was a lot of their children in different sports groups were going to be competing, so they went there, and their families and extended families and everything else. That's my expectation. That don't know how many of the participants, as in the sporting competition and or the dances and other parades, were National Socialists, but I suspect a large number of the crowd were not National Socialists. That's just my take on it. Again, obviously we don't know from the crowds, and we know from a lot of times the Hitler speaking at different rallies before and after he gets in power. A lot of people attended that weren't National Socialists, weren't buying into it, but they still attended to watch and see what was happening, see who this Hitler was, or sometimes, especially once he's in power, just to sort of look like they're doing the right thing by showing up and not being anti the new regime, but they're not overly supporting the new regime. Okay, do we want to send aid to Persia now that they are in the Axis? The big thing for this, again, comes back to my wish to build air bases, because if you notice, Tehran has no air bases. No air... look, in a way, basically any one of these provinces that is level 2 or better has the ability to land aircraft on it, okay? And that could be for the swamps, the jungles, somewhere in this province you can land an aircraft and take it off. Maybe not a big Gigant or some super aircraft or whatever, and some of the bigger American bombers needed, good hardened runways, though they could be on good hard dirt. But introduce a little bit of water, turns to mud, no way they're not going to operate. But so an airbase really, and that's what air supply really is. It's not, mostly at least, it's not parachuting in supplies. It's like the Stalingrad airlift in that they were flying, landing in. But there's, like an airstrip, which is different than having control towers, different than having some maintenance abilities, and they're, to repair, do service and refuel, and refueling facilities, a lot of fuel set up there, and it's not like you're having a lot of rearmament stuff. You're just landing and taking off. But I can't imagine, looking at this Tehran, that there shouldn't be at least a level 1 airport of some sort. That to me is just, there is a, I guess down here in Bandar Abbas and maybe some other place, but I was looking around and didn't see one in Tehran. So that is what we're going to do, is get a level 2. The pillbox really doesn't matter, the anti-aircraft gun really doesn't matter at the moment, but Iran may want to have more abilities. So now they can shift their air power around a little bit, be a little bit more protected in the north from the Soviet operations. Those are Saudi aircraft. Huh? Those are Saudi aircraft, aren't they? Gotta be the Saudi flag. How interesting, because we're at war with the Saudis. How interesting. And though we've conquered them, but they're, government in exile. Huh? How interesting. So I guess maybe Tehran, Iran doesn't have any air power. Now you could build some if you want. Okay. Defense in depth and assault concentration have both advanced up. Good. Assault concentration, yes. Good. And what did I see? Cruiser, no, over here. Let's now get that going. Cruiser armaments. Well, let's do that too. I just find interesting looks like that. And obviously that pamphlet book commemoration, it was made afterwards because I took the photos during the event, is a piece of propaganda. It is, no doubt it's a piece of propaganda. And they weren't above photoshopping things at the time. Obviously they didn't have the computer programs to Photoshop, but you know what I mean. Making retouching photos and stuff like that. But obviously, really, none of those photos were retouched. They were all sort of what was at the event at the time, basically, I would say. So it's a certain level of truth, because that event did happen. Those people did attend. They were waving those flags around. No. Come down here. Not cross the river. You get to there. You come down and across the river here. Come down to there. So, just sort of tells me a little bit of what's going on at the time. Historically, I find that fascinating. Learn. Because they're just not in the documentaries or the movies, and not really commented upon in the books that I've read. Not that they're not in any books, but yes. But you can have metal. Now, of course, a lot of that stuff has been hidden out of shame. Because a lot of people bought into the propaganda that Germany was going to win and be victorious. So, well, we better get in line, you know. We want to survive. I want my family to survive. So we can be, you know, secret anti-Nazis or secretly don't like them, but we're going to outwardly go along with the system. And maybe that means joining up for a Nazi-ish type party. Maybe it means not doing that, but just keeping a basic job and doing the basic things. But then after the war, you don't want to be associated that maybe you did sort of go along too much. So they try to hide that. Also, you have, especially for stuff in this part of the world, it all goes behind the Iron Curtain. And nobody basically is translating what works there may be from Czechoslovakia, from Poland, from Hungary, from Romania into English for me to read and other historians to read. And I think the communists also suppress a lot of this information for various reasons. So you get a real interesting distorted view of what was going on in this part of the world, levels of support, and you just hear about the resistance to the Nazis. You know, oh, we all fought them, we all hated them, we all whatever. But I find it fascinating. This is what I'm trying to learn and understand. Armor designs increased to 5. Okay, and since now there been a little bit of controversy, and I'm basically going to stop doing it because I've been asked to by moderators on the Paradox Forum. I was making short videos talking about my thoughts on the development diaries for Hearts of Iron 4. And they were getting a lot of respectfully disagrees by some people. And a lot, I mean, by 10, 12, something like that. And some of them were also getting a fair number of agrees too. But I think the disagrees, because then yes, at the end of the video, I would say, come to my channel and subscribe and whatever. And so it is a self-promotion thing, most assuredly. But it was also, as I think you know, I like to talk better than I write. So I don't think I'm ever going to write a book on my thoughts on Nazi Germany. The way I'm going to express it is whether through gaming videos or through write out some notes, you know, to keep the thing flowing and on topic, but a little bit more concise videos on the topic. And I'm sort of thinking about how I might do some of those, because I've gotten better software to record my desktop better and just have a lot of photos prepared and bring in and maps and things like that. So armor designs. Okay, so this is medium or light, or what armor designs? Okay, oh, advanced armor designs. Advanced. That is here. Okay, that's these guys. Like developing a Panther or something. Highly advanced. Okay, so that will help. Advanced optics, build costs. Maybe. Let's do improved engines. That'll get everything moving a little bit faster, and when we weigh it down with heavier armor or something, it'll balance it out. Okay, major victory. Where do we have a major victory? Oh, here finally. Okay. You keep advancing in there. They're bringing in a garrison unit to mess with that. Okay. Oh, good. These guys, the mech and paras, come and reinforce that. Now, how are we doing here? Okay, we have the 12th Corps and the 6th Divisio de Infanteria. Oh, are those like Brazilian troops on the island? Oh, here. And okay. We are battling Flotilla Nova. Okay, Bismarck Turpitz, sink this guy. Okay, well, we didn't sink anybody. Maybe I should have brought 2. Well, it looks like they didn't need 2 divisions. Okay, intel cache gathered by a covert operative. Mein Führer, we have discovered a rather curious cache of intelligence documents. Our cryptologists are poring over the document now. Hopefully they will reveal something of interest and not be another ruse by the British or the Americans. Okay, well, let's see. We'll see what we get. Oh, okay. One of 2 things will happen. 2% chance we will get Allied invasion. Target will be the Palais de Calais. Invasion target will be in Normandy. Brest, or that, or 98%. No, okay. So probably nothing happened. Now we're at 0 fuel, basically. Oh, interesting. Come on, guys. Okay, now we're fighting a Brazilian unit, okay, that's been turned over to British command. Single engine airframe has advanced, very good. And that is grayed out. Let's look at it's useful there. Now we are sending that fleet down here. No, I didn't think it got here yet. Where is it? And somebody's driving by on a Harley. You're probably hearing a little bit of that. Where is my... Oh, you have no... You come down here. Base to South Africa. Now, of course, not those. Where is my carrier base? They're not up here, are they anymore? No. Oh, I sent them now. Good. Don't tell me they're going through the Mediterranean or some crap like that. No. See if we can find them quickly here. Okay, up. Multi-flotilla. Craigs, I mean, here they are. Oh, they're here. Okay. Yeah, as well as these guys are here. Okay. Well, let's see. Yeah, these were this Greek occupation force, and had we had those guys sitting on some of these beaches here, Brazil probably wouldn't have been able to invade us. So let's click here and get them all on board the main. Oh well, that one's good enough, I guess. No, let's not. Let's everybody off. Everybody off. Okay, there we go. Everybody and on board. Okay. And they gotta stop. Also get these guys for more occupational duties. Now come down to here. I'll rebase. Get that. And a few others should be able to move through and reopen the port. This unit's doing pretty well here. Major victory. Oh, here. Okay, good. And we've won there. Great. Now. Wait a few more of these units get there. At least we won't have to be crossing the river. Commerce defense, great. That means with all of our far-flung things, well, we'll stop that for now. Yeah, like right now, I have no thought that whether this is going to win or I'm sure it's going to win. I'm just only worried that we may see a big fleet of death of the Americans or the British or somebody to show up and thrash us. How's our supplies doing here? Okay, doing well enough. We need more fuel. The screwy system, not that we're really out of it. Port that attack. Keep coming up along here. Sort of the easy path, but keep moving forward. Come down the Ganges River Valley here. Yeah, I even know some of the geography when it's not printed on the map. Okay, well, now we have some more excess. Yes, you may have the rare materials. I want to keep you in as much production as we can. These guys are taking forever, so I want to build a few more regular submarines. Oh, the group's fun. Berlikin's finally available. Good. Flying boats, let's... Yeah, we can do 4 of those. And... lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of fighters. I want to swamp Britain in air power. Yeah, let's do another 4 fighters. Partly because just they don't eat up manpower. That's why I'm doing some of that. Oh, also we just no longer need all those consumer goods. Nice. Got it down to no dissent. And now we have more than enough fuel, almost 40,000 gallons or barrels or whatever it is. Small fuel tank reserve. Research. Oh, that's 44 attack. Let's look and see, make sure we got all the fire control and damage control and whatever for 43 and earlier. Yeah, we could do that. Torpedo bombers. Be a little better taking out other ships with our carriers once they're done. Okay, carrier group doctrine, that's nice. And we'll let that go. Someday we may have carrier task force. How is Japan doing? Let's take a look at Asia. More Asia than we are. Okay, they've losing ground here against the British. I did notice here that they sent a mass amount of units up here because I guess they had a partisan outbreak. There was at the sort of start of this episode. Now they're all streaming back into here. So they're slowly pushing back the British, the Burmese, the Nepalese, other sorts of units there. I say losing here, but they're winning here, or got to this point. Maybe you're stalled now. U.S. Marine Corps under British command. There. Now they should be getting, well, I don't know. We're here with some, well, they're probably getting bombed. That's why they're, get out, back up over here. Get out from there. Well, they got a lot of air power there, so it only can support 3, and we got 35 there. Some commandos. paratroopers. And here they just have lots and lots of garrison troops. 10 garrison troops with 30 anti-aircraft elements. And some regular divisions, but not much. They're facing a opposition there. How are they doing out? Oh, the Americans look like they've grabbed a few islands there. Oh, the Japanese have taken most, though retreated back to here, would appear, or units lost or something. The biggest problem with this here is, well, those look like command control, but they don't have supply, I don't think. Okay, well, they've got Wake. That's good. I don't think they had that before when we last checked. So there's some island operation going on with the Americans taking those, the Japanese taking these. Okay. And at least the Americans haven't launched a major invasion and taken... I remember, I don't know, was it a game that for one of the Let's Play, I think it was one, maybe my first one or one of them. I had heavy panzer units, German heavy panzer units in Japan, because the Americans had landed and taken. At one point I woke up, oh, we're doing really well, you know, taking, you know, a lot of these, you know, India and wherever, and then it's like, you know, in Japan, I think that game, I think I had taken one or more of these islands for Germany, but also helping Japan out down here. And then, oh, America's made a major naval invasion, or, you know, landing in Japan. And so and they were sort of Ubered up units. Americans, is this? Oh, they were Lend-Lease base, okay. Try to get the Americans involved in this theater. Just like over here. And so I had to send in some heavy panzer divisions to be able to fight the Americans out of Japan. Keep Japan from surrendering. Because like I say, they were doing great all over, you know, Central Asia, but they were about ready to lose Japan when I got there. I think they may I think they had lost Tokyo. Okay, well, instead of just sitting there, you can, well, let's march up. Here. Take some more territory away, and you can march into there. Okay, African Army recruitment advances. Okay, let's look at the technology. What I think we're going to do, though, with that is, again, well, let's switch it to Indian Army recruitment. So we'll do that now that we have Kelly. Surge of volunteers. Our men of manly bearing are standing up and saying they are ready to fight for our country. Okay. Nice generic photo. I mean, obviously it's not for Germany, it's just a generic photo. Now, I also think it's interesting. I presume those are Chinese, because I wouldn't see a lot of Japanese once the war started. Japanese Americans at a recruiting station. But he's, oh, maybe this. Well, maybe it's Hawaii. I don't know. Because he's obviously Asian as well. Yeah, surge of volunteers until October 143, so not too long, but not too long at all, but okay, we'll take that. Now, West Wall, Western France section. Okay. Now, again, I want to see, but here I really think either there's no chance, or it's a very small chance of an invasion. So we're going to do light defenses. So now we have light defenses here. They work it out so that Germany stays in control, but sort of like paradrops or land somehow an invasion force here, then having this like heavy would be good. African recruits, yes. But if it is like it was last time, well, then either no okay, good on board, and we also want there down here. We may leave some of those rebase. Some of those units if we don't have enough space on our landing craft for that. I'd rather have the better units up there faster. And we can come back for some others. Okay. But might as well, like I say, get them in the theater. Okay, so that is single engine fighter prototype. Okay, we need to research probably engine type there. Have we got here yet? Not yet. And they're losing some organization, but these guys are now really messed up. Get these guys. They're quicker rather than later. Keep them from getting too organized or shattered or whatever it might be. We're going to allow them to take care of that while these guys move through the mountains, yes, but takes them in their rear. Cuts them off or whatever you want to say. March up into the mountains. Okay, now that we're all across the river there, let's drive into here. With some... Well, let's actually cross the river, because once we're there, we'll want to pound into... them on the flank. Okay, sniper warfare has advanced. That is good. Oh, it's this one. Oh, we've maxed it out. Okay. Well, that's ending craft. Well, let's switch this over to here. Now we've maxed out sniper warfare. I guess you can only sort of go so far. Well, let's do rolling artillery barrages. That would be nice. And finally got one of these again. And we can support our allies, Turkey, now. We'll probably do this because it's a minuscule amount of 5,000 supplies. We've got that easy. A little bit of fuel, we got that even more, or it's even easier. And again, this event was based upon if you have Turkey in here, and I'm wanting to invade the Soviet Union, and want some air bases here, because there are very, very few air bases in eastern Turkey, as you may notice. And you may want to come in and puppet it, or you're really not going to get it through just influencing it. Like I do have a couple of events that make it a little easier, but not enough to override it. But we'll do that. Give Turkey an air base there. Not that we need it, but just Turkey is out of other air bases. Room. They can shift some forces around. And we're here, so let's Deutsches Afrika Korps. Get the units I really want in first. Okay, well, let's detach them, but load them up. Okay, that probably is going to do just about. Well, we can't now. It's too far away to invade, at least from there. So let's go to Volta. Probably lower Volta. I think it's changed its name to Burkina Faso or something like that. But there was a country called Upper Volta. Obviously the upper part of the Volta River. Okay, come on. Yeah, you're kicking their ass. Like I say, I have no real problems about the eventual victory here. It was only just, do we see a big death fleet come down and smack it? The only thing I worry about with that. And we defeated those partisans. Okay, well, I was really hoping to get a session before the end of the episode, but I guess not. Hey, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate that. And of course, just thanks for watching. Thanks for liking the video if you would. And hey, please post questions, comments, suggestions, ideas, corrections to anything I may have said. Really do appreciate that. See you next time for more Hearts of Iron.